Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous style hair bow. I really like this hair bow. If you like the boutique style bows, I find this one kind of similar but easier to make, and you get that lovely shape every time. So before we start, I just want to say that everything that I use in this tutorial is linked in the description below, so you can check all of these products out. So I've got some ribbon cut and I've got some pins handy ready to make my bow. You will need a hot glue gun, obviously a tape measure or a ruler, and also a needle with some strong thread. So I've got 4 pieces of ribbon cut, 2 in this denim with a print on it and 2 in plain. You can use any patterns or whichever you like. Because I'm adding this cute little clay to mine and she's got this denim dress, that is why I picked these ones out for my hair bow. So the 2 denim pieces, 1.5 inch wide ribbon or 4 centimeters wide, and both of the denim pieces are cut to 33 centimeters in length or around 13 inches in length, and that is 2 pieces. And the 2 plain pieces, again, they are the same width, 1.5 inch wide or 4 centimeters wide, and the 2 plain pieces are cut to 30 centimeters in length or just over 11 3/4 inches in length. And again, that is 2 pieces. First of all, taking a lighter, you will need to heat seal all of the ends of your ribbon, and this will get rid of any frays and prevent any further fraying. So do that on all of the ends of your ribbon. So now we've got the ends all heat sealed, I'm going to take one of my denim pieces and one of my plain pieces, and what I'm going to do is set the other 2 aside for now. And I've got 3 pins, and what I'm going to do is fold this in half and I'm going to find the center. So again, I'm just going to use a little bit of heat from a lighter, and that will just help to get a mark in there where the center is. The same with the plain piece, fold it in half and mark the center. And then I'm going to now put these 2 centers together. So I'm laying the 2 creases one on top of the other, lining up the ribbon along the lengths and along the creases, and I'm just going to pop a pin in there. So it now looks like this, and then we're going to bring the 2 ends together and fold it in half to find the center lengthways. Again, grabbing another pin and popping it in the center. As you can see, my lighter has scorched the ribbon a little bit, but we won't see this once the bow is made. The same with the other end. So bringing the 2 ends together, folding it in half to find the center lengthways, and popping a pin in there to hold them both together, like that. So this is what we've got now. As you can see, because the denim ribbon is slightly longer, it should look like this. And next we're going to take the ribbon and face it downwards so that the pattern you want on the outside and the longest piece is facing up towards you. And we're going to take this bottom end and we're going to fold it under and then twist it round to lay over the top. And the same with this top piece. So I'm taking this other end and I'm bringing it down and twisting it over to lay over the top. And then we're going to line these 2 pieces up by lining the edge of this ribbon with this pin, and this edge is going to be in line with this pin. And then I'm going to look at this visually to see where the center is, and we're going to pop this middle pin in the center of them both. So all 3 pins are evenly spaced like this. I'm going to just remove this middle pin and pop that in through all of those pieces. And that is one side now complete. So this is what it should look like. We're now going to do the same on the other two pieces. Now obviously if you've got a pattern which needs to be the same way up, you do need to make sure that with this being the top of the bow, that your pattern is the correct way. Mine can go either way, so it doesn't matter. So we've now got our two pieces identical and all pinned together, and now we're ready to sew across our pinch. We're going to aim for 6 stitches now across this end. So 4 in this part and 2 in this part. So going through this first corner, through the top, catching this corner and all of those layers, we're going to pull it all the way through to the knot. And then our second stitch, 2, third stitch, just making sure that I'm catching all of those layers. Our fourth stitch coming up from the bottom, catching these 2 corners. And then 2 more in this part. I'm just relining them up because they're slightly misaligned. So 2 more, 1, 2, so that's our 6th stitch. I'm just going to remove all of these pins and I'll show you those stitches again so you can see them better. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we can pull this tight to form a pinch. And then I'm going to go through this end, catching the last few layers. And then I'm going to go through again. And this time, before I pull it tight, I'm going to go through this loose loop a couple of times, and that will just form a knot to hold that pinch in place. And that is the first half of the bow complete. I'm going to keep this attached to this and then do the stitches on my other half. So continuing with the same needle and thread, we're going to do those exact same stitches, so 6, 4 in this side and 2 in this side. So I've done my 6 stitches as I did this half, but this time I didn't pull it through completely tight because we are still joined. I'm just going to now remove those pins again, and now I can pull these tight, and what that will do is bring those 2 halves together and then again that pinch will form. And once you've got that in there nice and tight, I'm keeping it pinched together with my thumb and finger whilst I seal off that end. On this go again, I'm just going to go through that loop before I pull it completely tight, just to form a knot. And then I'm going to join these two sides together, so I'm just going to go upside down. So where I come out of this side, I'm going to go back in through the other half. And I'm just going to do that a couple of times, so through this side and through the other side. I'll do it in the middle as well, just to close that in. Through the loose loop a couple of times to seal that off, and then I'm going to trim off the excess thread. And there you have your bow shape ready. Now it is at this point that you can decide if you would like a base bow or not. So I am going to make a single pinwheel base bow for this. So I will show you how I do this without actually measuring the bow. So if you want to make these in the future, you can learn how to measure them up yourself. So what I would do is I would roughly make a single pinwheel shape like this. So I've just taken my ribbon, folded one end under and the other end up to make like this sort of Z shape. And I've left around sort of an inch or so overhang, and I'm going to sit this under my bow to see if that is the correct width, which that is. You want it to be sort of in line with the bow so that the tail is slightly hanging out. So I know to cut my bow, my ribbon, sorry, to about here. I'm just going to cut it straight for now. So that will be my pinwheel base. I will show you the measurement, just so if you do make this bow, you can just measure it, but that is how you can also make a pinwheel bow for any style bow. So as you can see, it is just under 38 centimetres or just under 15 inches. So I'm going to continue now and make my pinwheel, and I'm actually going to do this freehand. I'm not going to sew it. So again, I'm going to make my pinwheel shape. Now you can fold it like I did before, fold the pieces under to make the Z shape, or you can fold them over to make the Z shape. It doesn't really make much difference, because if you flip it over, you've got the same kind of thing. So I'm going to do mine under. Again, leaving around a couple of centimetres or around an inch overlap. I'm just going to check it against my bow again. So about like that. And I'm going to grab a couple of fabric clips just to pin those ends in place. And then I'm going to fold this in half to find the centre, using a little bit of heat from my lighter. So I can see now that this is the centre, and I'm going to freehand in my pinch. So I'm going to fold this up in the middle, and then down and up and down again on that side, and then up and down, and then up and down again on the bottom end. So I've got that pinch in the centre now, and then taking this piece of thread, placing it under my thumb, then I'm going to wrap this around that centre a couple of times and then tie it off on the bottom. trimming off the excess ends of thread. And that is my freehand single pinwheel bow. And now I'm going to just trim these tails. So I'm going to cut them diagonally and slightly rounded, and then heat seal that end. The same with the other side. There it is. And then we're ready to layer this up now. Taking my hot glue gun, I'm going to place some hot glue on the top centre of my pinwheel bow. I haven't let it warm up enough, which is why the glue is a little bit stringy, but it should be enough just to hold that for now. Making sure it's all in line. And then I've got a hair clip here. It's a double pronged clip which I have already lined with some matching ribbon. This is optional, you don't have to line your clips, but that is just something that I like to do. And this is quite a small clip for this bow. This is 45mm clip. You could use a 55 or even 65mm, but my little girl do like these clips, as I always say in my tutorials. That is why I tend to stick to these. And then I'm going to cut another strip of ribbon from my 4cm wide ribbon to wrap the centre. Now, if you have got 1cm wide ribbon, obviously you can use that, but this is just how I do mine. I just cut a strip by eye around 1 centimetre wide by around 11 centimetres in length. And then, because I've got raw edges all the way around this piece of ribbon, I will need to heat seal all the way around, not just the ends. And you won't see this piece of ribbon anyway, because we're adding our clay doll. So I'm going to start sticking this around the centre of my clip. I'm going to stick it under the clip, central to the hair bow. And then start bringing it around. On the first go round, I like to just pop a bit of glue over the join, just to make sure that stays covered up. And I'm going to go around for the second time. And this is going to finish at the top, but that won't matter because we're going to be covering it with our clay. Just heat seal that raw end and finish it off on this top side. Like this. And now to add the clays, hot glue can be a bit dodgy on these, they can peel away. So what I like to do is I have cut a little piece of scrap felt off some spare felt that I've got in my stash, and I'm going to hot glue this on the back of my clay doll. And this is because hot glue and felt works really well together. So I'm just going to pop that around the middle because that is where she will be touching the hair bow. Really push it into that hot glue. And then I've also got some Gorilla Super Glue gel, and this works well on clay. But by using hot glue and felt and the Gorilla Super Glue gel, I know that I've got double the strength on there, so hopefully that should hold. And my little girl, my little girl has got bows with clays on, and she has worn them for years with none of them falling off. So these are tried and tested. So applying the glue gel next, I'm going to apply that around the edges of the felt and a little bit on the felt at the top and the bottom. So any bits that are going to touch my bow. And then I'm going to place the hot glue in the middle on the felt. Try not to actually mix the two as best as I can. And then the hot glue will hold that on the bow immediately. And that will give the super glue gel a chance to set. So I'm just going to hold her on there for a couple of seconds just to make sure the glue takes. And then that is the finished hair bow. Isn't that gorgeous? I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. I would also like to add that I do also have tutorials for clay dolls as well, if you want to have a go at that. I will pop a link to my clay playlist in the corner here. I'll see you soon. Bye.